First of all, what's in a name? Nrf2 stands for the very specific name nuclear factor erythroid 2 related factor 2. I'll be sure to put that on the screen so you don't have to go back and listen to that twice. Essentially, along with the other things we talked about in these supplements and other things on the channel, these names do kind of call out what these proteins, these genes, whatever we're talking about, it calls out what they do a little bit. To put it simply, Nrf2 is what we call a transcription factor. Transcription factor refers to any protein or enzyme or so forth that helps to turn on genes, or could turn off genes. But usually when we say transcription factor, we mean turn on genes. So it basically helps to regulate further production of proteins and enzymes. So when I took cellular and molecular biology, particularly molecular biology, back in the ancient days when I was in college, the way I like to remember what a transcription factor does is to kind of think of it in terms of electricity, something like along the lines of the relationship between a light bulb and, let's say, a light switch. The light bulb, in this case, is the gene we want to turn on. The transcription factor is the switch. So in that sense, Nrf2 helps to upregulate or turn on certain genes. I'm not going to give you the number, but it's important to understand that there are genes that are considered cytoprotective or protect cells, and those can be turned on by Nrf2 since it is a transcription factor, and one of its main functions is to protect cells, particularly nerve and brain cells. So in previous episodes talking about antioxidants, mitochondrial health, all those things, you're going to see that come up again and again because this mitochondrial science is really starting to take off in a big way with Parkinson's disease, whether it's with treatment or prevention of things getting worse with Parkinson's. And so it's interesting to see these common themes, and I think it's worth repeating that this is something that Nrf2 also plays a role in. So I don't recall what episode it is right now, and if I do, I'll be sure to link it up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. But we talked about glial cells and how, oh, I remember which video it was now. It was actually the video where I talked about reversing Parkinson's disease, or the concept of that, quoting John Pepper, who developed the fast walking routine that helped him to kind of reverse his symptoms of Parkinson's to the extent that now he's just on an MAOB inhibitor to treat his Parkinson's, and he's well into his 80s. If you haven't seen that episode, be sure to watch it. If you have, you'll remember that research has shown, or at least research is trying to look into, whether intense exercise can help to produce what's called GDNF and BDNF. Those are proteins in the brain, and one is glial-derived neurotrophic factor, the other is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Each of those can help to protect cells in the brain. Glial cells are what are called helper cells in the brain. So glial cells are in and around other brain cells, and they basically help to do the job of making repairs and supporting the health of existing and healthy cells. So in other words, glial cells can also play a role in protecting those cells from damage. Well, Nrf2 has a direct role in response to oxidative stress and inflammation in brain and nerve tissue in relationship to glial cells. Glial cells themselves, in fact, express high levels of Nrf2, and therefore Nrf2 has a direct impact on regulating inflammation.